Hello, my name is Rebirth the Phoenix, here with a story that didn't seem true until a couple days ago. So, I was looking up in the subreddits for a good creepypasta for Halloween. Then I read about Ted, the cursed fursuit. I was like, there's no such thing, I'm an atheist. But then I started reading the description. It's a fox and a bear hybrid, and of complex patterning of it looks like a swirl on the top of the right shoulder blade, then it goes down in the middle of the chest, and then it copies on the left. And that was the only thing really complicated with this character, and the character was named Ted. The hybrid was quite unique. It had somewhat long ears, but had a nice round finish. The tail was almost as long as its ears, maybe a tad longer, and has a round finish so you could see it's a bear. Slightly more bulkier than a fox, but had the bulk of a bear. It was weird. And people started saying, beware of Ted. Don't make him. Only draw him. They started talking about several people who have made Ted. They said it was 3 people, 4 people, 40 people. It's not real. But I was like, this character seems way too simplistic. It has browns, light browns, and a blue finish on the shoulder blades with that patterning. I was like, this is too simple. And blue eyes. I was like, this is very simple. I could even make this. I did even more homework. There was someone who said that they were the owner of Ted. They posted their journals or logs of what happened to the people who made Ted. So they had enough art of Ted. Nothing happened to the people who drew on Ted. They were completely okay. People who made name badges of Ted were completely okay. But the fursuit part of it, strange events that were hard to explain. Yeah. I'm here explaining them to you to warn you about Ted. Because I know he's real. Ted owner wanted his tail, so he commissioned someone to do his tail. The tail maker was a very well-known tail-making fursuiter who was partnered with More for Less. And then, all of a sudden, he got tragically, extremely ill. Almost like it wasn't supposed to be. He got really ill. He ended up in the hospital for a month, just buying the fabric. And then he tried to pick up the suit again, started drafting the pattern, ended up in the hospital for another month. And then he tried sewing it. He had everything laid out before the last collapse. Then he wrote he never heard from that person again. Until recently, his mother contacted him, and this was his first commission in 9 years. This is a time span of 10 years, according to the story. And the first person dies, and he finally got his refund years later because of the term of services. But I didn't know it was cursed, said the person. So I went to another tail maker after losing contact with the other person. I posted beware on that person, and this was my first ever beware that I posted. 10 years of doing art, you become a trusted buyer. So people followed my words. And so I commissioned someone else to do the tail. And yet, it took a month. They got extremely ill, and they're like, I can't do it. My mother, who's a sensitive, told me a demon was hunting me down. I got refunded instantly. Then I went for a third person to do a tail. Same events again. And then I got instantly refunded. So I was like, maybe I should do the full suit. Maybe Ted's telling me to do the full suit. So I decided to save up money. Took me a couple months, but I finally got money to do the suit. The first maker, again, another more or less partner, and they were making the foam head, and then all of a sudden their electric miniature chainsaw for the foam went and cut off their hand. I was shocked. They're like, I can't sew, so I'm going to give you a refund. They lost their hand. Now, I'm not a superstitious person, but this is person number 5. No way this is real. Maybe it's just a bunch of bad events. So I went to the next person. This person got hit by a truck. Then the next person. They put on their cat, went into the foam base, and ended up just being bones. Bones, I tell you. They sent me pictures. It was scarring. It was traumatizing. They're like, I can't do this, so you're gonna get a refund. Then the fourth person. They went to buy the material. 2 months later, I got a contact from their mother that they were shot at the fabric store. The fabric store was robbed the very day that they got the material, and they were shot and killed, and was the only casualty. The fifth person, somehow, who was not a drug addict, never did drugs in their whole entire life, was pulled over by the police, and they had heroin. Everyone in the world knew that they never did drugs. It was all over the news. It was even in my neighborhood. And I'm in Wisconsin. We don't get that exciting news. Then I knew it was cursed. Then I started making a TED cause. I was like, I'm not gonna let people make it. 5 people died already. So someone was gonna surprise me by making a head for my birthday. You know, I've been in the fandom for 11 years, and then it was shocking. I opened my door. There was a box. I opened the box. It was a foam head, and in that foam head was a skull. I knew exactly what they were doing. They were trying to make Ted. I started posting on Twitter, Reddit, don't make Ted. You can do art, but don't make Ted. Don't risk your lives. 4 other people didn't take my warnings. And they started dying in very, very, very weird circumstances. Someone tried making arm sleeves. Their arms got busted. It was actually quite a sight to behold. I was like, whoa, they're live streaming. They're like, oh, I'm gonna make Ted. And I was like, no. Yeah, that live stream was cut off by the second that the fire started on the right arm. The other person was plowed by a truck. The other person went to Home Depot and a saw cut them in half. And the last person, I begged them. I made them sign the form. I'm like, don't do it, please. I don't want you to die. But it was too late. They already bought the material and everything. The next day, the parents contacted me, seeing that I warned them over and over again, don't make the suit. He told me that they somehow had peanut butter, and they're allergic to peanuts. Died in anaphylactic shock in their sleep. They couldn't explain it, and I told them it was Ted. I warned them, and they're like, where do you live? Wisconsin. Like, this person's in the UK. It got even weirder. So, I kept on looking in the Reddit posts to see if there's any more news about Ted. There was a lot of art. A lot of art workers were like, hey, I can draw Ted. But they started drawing Ted as a killer. He wasn't a killer. Maybe he wants me to make him. And so I started asking for advice. I never got sick because I was asking for advice. And I never mentioned Ted in person. I bought the foam, bought the fur. I'm going to make him. I was unemployed for a month. And so I decided to visit the person who posted, I'm going to make him. It was 3 months after he showed the material. I was like, hey, I could help him out. I have some extra brown fur. I flew to Wisconsin and went to visit him. It was a sight to behold. His door was covered in blood. It was scary. It was unforeseeable. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I opened the door, quite hesitant, because I know one thing. It was gonna be something that will traumatize me for the rest of my life. I opened the door. Blood everywhere. Fur. In the front that says, leave me alone. And I see a journal. It was a journal of all Ted's art, name tags and everything. And then a couple blank pages. The owner was writing notes. And the last page before the blank pages is, only draw Ted. Do not make him real. He doesn't want to be real. He doesn't want to be real. I was shocked. Then a claw hand started walking towards me. I was scared, so I threw the notebook. It was open to one of the blank pages. It grabbed a red pen and said, are you going to make me? I said no. He said, thank you. I'm like, why did he kill your owner? He wrote 6 letters. Cancer. I was like, what? Cancer. He kept on writing cancer till the page was full. He didn't kill his owner because he wanted to kill his owner. He killed his owner because he knew he wouldn't have a fun life. He didn't want to be in a box. He didn't want to be forever forgotten. He wanted to be immortalized by art, but not immortalized in a way of being in person. So I asked Ted, can we draw you after your owner's death? He wrote yes on an empty page. But we cannot make your suit, right? No. Can we make name tags for you? Yes. Can we make clay sculptures out of you? Yes. But we cannot make a fursuit out of you? No. Partial? No. Tail? No. Ears? No. A human OC? No. He said if we tried to make him any wearable goods minus a name tag, we would die. I took the warning. I ran out of that place with a sight to behold. If you are listening to this, Please take my warning. Don't make Ted. He is real, and he just wants to be respected. And yeah, that's the story of Ted. Supposedly there's more to the story, but I have to do some more research. And thank you. I hope you guys enjoy that. Yeah, it was a creepypasta that I made for you guys. There's a backstory of why I made it, and there's also a part 2. If you want a part 2, let's say this video gets 100 likes, or any of my social media get 100 likes for me posting this, I will post a part 2, and if we reach, 1,000 subs, I'll tell you, if I reach 1,000 followers in Cumberland, I will post why I made this. This is a 2-parter, and I hope you guys enjoy Ted, the Cursed Fursuit. Until next time, guys, bye!